So guys, this was the moment Mazi Nnamdi Kanu arrived at the court for the continuation of his trial. Don't forget that the federal government is trying to charge him on terrorism, while the real terrorists are being let loose. I mean, they are being let to operate at will. So guys, in case you don't know, the Nigerian military released a video yesterday where they are calling for more terrorists to come surrender, meaning they should come, they will be granted pardon again and be rehabilitated. This is coming after there were horrific attacks in the north from these Bököharam fighters. Now, take a look at this yesterday's headline. This is from Premium Times, and it says, Bököharam ISWAP insurgents attack 4 Nigerian military bases within 24 hours. This is coming from Premium Times. They attacked 4 military bases in the north, in Borno State to be precise. They made away with, weapons, and they killed some soldiers and a whole lot of damages. And here we are trying to charge Nnamdi Kanu with terrorism, while the real terror group are inflicting severe injury on Nigeria as a country. Now, take a look at this headline now. This is coming from Channels Television. This is also a yesterday's headline. And it says, Senate asks military to deploy troops to Borno, Yobe. After that attack, the Senate is mandating the Nigerian military to send their troops. They need more troops in Borno State. And guess what? Boko Haram is not playing this time. They come with full force, and they ended up buying 4 Nigerian military soldiers, carted away with weapons, and they inflicted real injury on the Nigerian military. And now the military is begging them to come and surrender. Anyway, I'm going to share that video with you. Now take a look at this. This one says, Northern Khan leaders meet security chiefs, raise alarm over insecurity. Northern Khan, they are now begging the security chiefs to do something because the insecurity is getting worse. And the governor of Borno State has condemned ISWAP Bököharam attacks in the north. In Borno State, within the space of 24 hours, 4 military bases were attacked. Nigerians, Nnamdi Kanu is being tried for terrorism. The real terror groups are being begged to come surrender. What a country. So guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at the moment Nnamdi Kanu entered the courts. I'm also going to allow you to listen to the video by the Nigerian military. And I'm also going to allow you to take a look at a reaction that the DSS denied Nnamdi Kanu lawyer access to him. You can imagine you are a lawyer and you want to access your client ahead of the court or ahead of his court appearance, and you were denied access. You know what that means. So Nnamdi Kanu is just being persecuted, while the terror groups are being given free hand to operate and being begged to come surrender, so that they'll be given pardon. Now take a look at these clips.
Like this.
Yes, sir. And so special. Have you go without money? Yes, sir. And so special. Have you go without money? Yes, sir. And so special. Have you go without money?
Since November of last year, we noticed the introduction of the use of armed drones to carry out attacks. Like you will find out in Israel and Ukraine, these drones are difficult to detect by conventional radar detection systems. What the terrorists have resorted to doing is carrying out multi-pronged attacks on several isolated and vulnerable deployments and using it as a propaganda, which is why we are also reviewing our deployments. Yesterday alone, there were attacks in Ran, Dikwa, and Gajiram, and all these attacks were defeated, apart from Ran, where they succeeded in penetrating to an extent, leading to the loss of 4 gallant personnel. However, let me reassure you that the overall resolve of the Nigerian military is that we will completely defeat this terrorism and restore peace to the region once and for all in the shortest possible time. We just need the support of the nation. For the terrorists, I urge them to toe the path of their colleagues who have surrendered and are being humanely treated or risk being eliminated in the long run. The military is fully resolved and resourced to bring the battle to a favorable conclusion. Our troops are highly motivated and our resilience is not dampened.
Agabi was leading Kanu's legal team and had a prior notification to visit him. Nnamdi Kanu's special counsel, Aloy Ejimako, condemned the DSS action as flagrant interference with fair trial process. All right, today I'm delighted to be joined by 2 esteemed guests. Here in the studio we have Mr. Peter Nasike. Mr. Nasike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And joining us virtually is Barrister Ejiofor Umegbogu. He is a lawyer and activist. Great to have you join us on the issues.
Should stop Kanu Agabi from seeing him, which is very, very unfortunate. I keep on saying that Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience. It is just the Igbo haters that are trying to destroy him. But I believe that at the end of the day, Daniel will come to judgment and Nnamdi Kanu will be set free.
All right, taking a look at this, because now we expect that now that Nnamdi Kanu has increased his legal counsel and added notable names like Agabi to his counsel, he should be getting at least some level of fair play. And of course, having Agabi with his level of influence and wherewithal, the DSS should be able to respect his person in making sure that he sees his client, who is Nnamdi Kanu. Why does it look like the DSS does these things and gets away with it?
Well, DSS is a law unto themselves, like every other people are laws unto themselves. You can also agree with me that Nyesom Wike is a law unto himself. Understand? So many Nigerians that are in APC are laws unto themselves. So EFCC is taking a cue from the body movement of the presidency. Understand? EFCC is taking a cue from the body movement of the presidency. They are not law abiding. So you shouldn't expect the DSS to be doing the opposite of what other people are doing.
So in terms of this, we are saying that high-handedness on the part of people who are meant to keep the law, like the DSS, getting away with such things under a democratic setting, and nobody calls them to order. And we expect that...
Who is to call them to order? Who is to call them to order? Is it a reckless executive that should call them to order, or a rubber stamp National Assembly, or a compromise complicit judiciary? So there's nobody to call anybody to order. Everybody is behaving as he or she wants, because this is we talk about leadership by example. The people at the top are not practicing what they are preaching. Understand me? So shouldn't you expect DSS that to continue to go by the books? So it is very, very unfortunate.
But in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, now that he has decided to follow the path of which the law wants him to follow in terms of calming himself down, there's been a change of the judge who's going to attend to this matter. They have begun to have hearings of his case. What does it do to Nnamdi Kanu's confidence in the judiciary system to hear him now? It looks like they want to really hear his case. What does it do to his confidence in the judicial system?
Well, Nnamdi Kanu is taking it. He didn't just enter this struggle today. He made his research. There are people that he is following. I said Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years. They never broke his confidence. So they cannot break Nnamdi Kanu's confidence because he is fighting a just cause. And once you are fighting a just cause, nothing can break your confidence.
Okay, now that the DSS is going through this route, denying his people from being, talking about his lawyer from seeing him, is the DSS not indirectly directing where this case is going? Because is it not supposed to be a fair play situation where he gets to meet his counsel, plan for his next hearing, and what to say and what to do? Because in the process where he's been denied his counsel, so he will not have a lot of time to prepare for his hearing. Because it makes things even more difficult for a person like Nnamdi Kanu, and as high profile this case is, he's supposed to have an opportunity to have a meeting with his counsel ahead of such a major case.
When you talk of a high profile case, it amuses me.
Why should he amuse you?
There's nothing in this case.
Okay.
There's absolutely nothing in this case. Nnamdi Kanu was framed. Nigeria police, Nigeria securities know how to give charges. Understand me? So for me, this is just a case of victimization. So I don't see any high-profile thing in it. You can say because of Nnamdi Kanu's stature, understand me, that Nnamdi Kanu is on trial. But that the case is a high-profile case, for me, there's nothing in the case.
Are we talking about...
Nnamdi Kanu is just a victim of the Nigerian state and nothing more.
If you say a victim of the Nigerian state, but in this case, Nnamdi Kanu is a leader of a group that has also been proscribed to be a terrorist group.
By who? By the Nigerian state.
Yeah, by the Nigerian state. So it's a high-profile case that the leader of a proscribed organization...
Did the leaders of civilized communities proscribe IPOB? Did America, did the United States, did France, did Germany proscribe IPOB?
But IPOB is not in these countries. They don't operate in those countries.
IPOB is not in Spain.
Are they operating?
IPOB
are they
is
operating
not
the way?
Italy. Are
they operating the way they are operating
in
Nigeria?
So for me, this is just Nnamdi Kanu is a victim of the Nigerian state. There's nothing in this case. DSS is just being dramatic and understand. So for me, at the end of the day, justice will be served. I said Nnamdi Kanu will be better off than those persecuting him, not prosecuting, persecuting him.
But how would that be? Because now, for instance, I just say the way the DSS is going about it, are they not directing the case instead of allowing it to go its way it's supposed to be?
Excuse me, there's a case filed in court already.
Yes.
What DSS is doing will not add or subtract from the case.
What about the denial of the counsel being able to meet him to prepare him ahead of the next hearing? If that is continued, that denies Nnamdi Kanu's fair time to prepare for the next hearing.
Every paper that will be discussed in court is served to the counsels.
Yes.
Understand me? Every paper that has to be served in court has to be served to the counsels. What DSS is doing is what they have been doing before. And even the Nigeria DSS don't have any intelligence. Understand me? So, all the cases are in court, papers are being served, or Motosho has given as a narrated hearing, which is a good thing. So I know that very soon all this drama will come to an end, because that is what it is. It is a drama and not a high-profile case.
Okay, you say it's a drama. What precedent does this drama to you set? Because now that Nnamdi Kanu is going through this, if you say he's a victim in this case, what does this say about others who will come up tomorrow and say they want self-control, they want self-determination, they want to be able to decide what their region wants? What precedent does this set? If the state power looks to be more powerful, to be able to direct wherever a case like this will go? Because now he's been in detention since 2021 without fair hearing.
Well, the issue is, once a system is not working, there must be agitation. There must be protest. So what Nnamdi Kanu did or is doing is not different from what other enlightened people are doing.
In the way he's going about it, you think it's not different from what others have been doing before?
How many do you know?
At least we know he had a Radio Biafra where he was making a lot of agitative comments. And of course, according to...
So it is owning a radio station that's...
It was deemed illegal by the government. It was deemed illegal.
In UK, there are so many radio stations.
That are illegal?
Understand me?
Not registered?
That are not registered. We have online radio stations, even in this country, that is not registered.
Are you trying to tell
the Kanu did not do anything different?
That there are a lot of radio stations in Nigeria that
there are so many online radio stations that are not registered. Even there are so many universities that are not registered. Are you aware of it?
I think I'm not aware yet. Maybe you are trying to tell us something. So you mean
there are so many radio stations that are not registered. There are so many universities that are not registered. Understand me?
Okay.
So what self-agitation, self-determination is in the Constitution, 1999 Constitution. And that's what Nnamdi Kanu did, because Nigeria is not working.
All right, we understand our virtual guest is now with us, talking about Barrister Ejiofor Umegbogu. He's a lawyer and activist. I would like to borrow his legal understanding in this matter. Good evening, you're welcome to the issues.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay.
I'm joining late because I didn't get the link on time.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, before, let's just go ahead without wasting much time. Taking a look at Nnamdi Kanu's case, how can the DSS justify denying access to legal counsel in a high-profile trial, which talking about Mr. Noski objects that is not high-profile, but whatever way you see it. And what does this say about Nigerians' commitment to due process if a body like the DSS would deny Nnamdi Kanu access to his counsel?
You see, Nigeria can be described as the theater of their thought, where things are done in such a topsy-turvy manner. You see, this Nnamdi Kanu's case has taken such a laughable dimension. In fact, it is going beyond legal understanding, that the government security agencies and government agencies saddled with the responsibility of prosecuting Nnamdi Kanu are just looking for every conceivable option to hold on to in order to prolong this matter unnecessarily. It is my firm view that a lot of things are not being done properly well in that Nnamdi Kanu's case. It leaves a lot to be desired. It leaves so much to be desired. But you see, the end justifies the means. they say the wheel of justice grinds slowly but surely. But surely, Nnamdi Kanu will get justice.
Marisa, we are not in a military regime. How come that Nnamdi Kanu's case is now looking like we're in a military era where the government can take decisions on certain individuals without fair trial and keep him in detention for so long? He's been in detention since 2021. And given the international attention on Nnamdi Kanu's trial, how damaging is this move to Nigeria's global human rights image?
Certainly, it gives a lot of damage to Nigerians' human rights image. You see, we cannot be labeled at fact. We cannot state the obvious. It is obvious that the Nigerians' image, but Nigeria as a nation, are not even interested in their international image any longer. That is why we do things in a manner that it seems that we do not give a damn of what the international community thinks about our perception or our image. So certainly it tells a negative tale about Nigerians' image abroad, but is getting out of hand. But let me also state that I can remember that Nnamdi Kanu, the prosecutors got an order at the earlier stage to continue to detain him at the DSS facility while the prosecution lasts. I think there was an order like that, and that order presumably is still subsisting. So that is why they are still keeping him there while the prosecution goes on.
Well, to my understanding, you understand that Nnamdi Kanu increased his counsel so as to have people who have the wherewithal to make sure that his case he gets fair hearing. We all know who Agabi is. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria and a one-time Attorney General. Should his office not give him privileges that the DSS should respect when this proceedings is looking like we thought that, okay, now the government is willing to make sure that judicial proceedings are being taken seriously? How come a person like Agabi is being stopped from saying his lines and they get away with it? And why so much silence on the part of the presidency and the Ministry of Justice?
You see, these are the silent points that gets people like us confused the more. The way and manner the prosecution of Nnamdi Kanu is being carried around, it leaves much to be desired. That certain things are done in such a manner that it behoves the imagination of any right-thinking person. You see, but be that as it may, I also believe that the personality of Kanu Agabi does not have anything to do with the process of law. You see, the law does not look at personalities. So he can only state the law as it is, and if the court finds his position worthy, the court will go with his position. But let us not have that erroneous belief that the personality of Kanu Agabi or the personality of any other person, for that matter, if he throws his weight into a case, that case will definitely turn to his favor, or that the court will begin to give a nod to everything he says. No.
But there was a prior notice to the DSS that he was coming to see him. But when he got there, it was a different kettle of fish he met when he got to the DSS office.
Yes, that depends on the administrative procedures in the DSS, in the Department of State Security. Because if Nnamdi Kanu were to be at the correctional center, I know the story would have been different. But he's in the detention of DSS. So the internal administrative mechanism of DSS will also come to play. So, and I am not knowledgeable in the internal mechanisms, administrative mechanisms of DSS to know on what grounds they refuse him. So the point I'm making is that because he is being detained at the Department of State Security, there are some other internal administrative procedures that may come to play, which which is not to my knowledge.
Okay, let me
at the correctional center, the story would have been different.
All right, Barrister, let me go to Mr. Anosike now. Mr. Anosike, the president was in Anambra recently, and Soludo, the governor, entertained him, and he was busy, more or less interested in saying that he was showing support to the president. Everyone who was following the Nnamdi Kanu trial felt that that would have been a big podium for the president to tell us that he was going to release Nnamdi Kanu fair and square, or say something about the case, or the governor pleading his case, or the Southeast governors or leaders would have taken it as an opportunity. Okay, release this man, let peace return back to the Southeast.
Well, Tinubu was in Anambra on Jamboree.
Okay.
He went to Anambra, that's on a different mission. And what played out in Anambra was Nollywood. Understand?
Yeah.
Or that was a Fox game. Tinubu was trying to deceive so I mean, what's his name? Sonudo. Sonudo was trying to deceive Tinubu. So in that, that everybody was just playing game. So there was no promise that was made in Anambra that will be kept. Understand me? So I'm happy that that Nnamdi Kanu case wasn't mentioned. Understand me? I'm happy that Nnamdi Kanu case was not mentioned, because it was just a cat and a dog game that happened. Understand me? Imagine Sonudo saying that Abga is going to, that Tinubu will be their presidential candidate. Understand? That's why he know that he cannot command 5% of the Anambra State voters. Understand me? And Tinubu saying that he has endorsed Sonudo for his November election. So it was just a kind of cat and dog game. Understand? So I'm happy that it didn't come up. And most of them there were just psychopaths. Understand? People looking forward to it. So, and Sonudo is among those that are afraid of Nnamdi Kanu, because he knows that Nnamdi Kanu is far more popular than him.
Okay, very interesting. You can also be a part of the show. The program is conversational, talking about our viewers. You can also drop your comment via the YouTube platform. You can also call in via the number, the WhatsApp number. You can drop your comments on WhatsApp, and also call in via the WhatsApp number beaming on your screen. And we'll be taking your comments as the show progresses, okay? We are already seeing the comments. We'll take them as the show progresses. Well, let's go to the next conversation. Omoyole Sowore, a former presidential candidate, has criticized Peter Obi, saying he's not a real opposition leader. Sowore claims Obi hasn't done enough to challenge the government, citing his silence in fuel price increases and lack of street action. The Obedient Movement, however, disagrees with Sowore's assessment. They argue that Obi's relevance in national discourse remains unmatched. pointing out that his statements and actions continue to generate significant attention and news coverage. The movement reaffirmed its support for Obi, urging his critics to focus on their own future campaigns rather than trying to undermine him. They believe Obi will continue to challenge the establishment for the interest of the Nigerian people. Let me now go to Barrister. Taking a look at this comment, looking at Peter Obi's obedience versus Sowore, does Sowore have a point? Can Peter Obi truly be called an opposition leader if he avoids confronting the government on critical issues like fuel hikes?
I want to agree with Sowore on that premise. I want to agree with Sowore on that. You see, most of our leaders, those of them that acclaimed leaders, are actually politicians. They are just politicians. There is this statement by former president of America, Kennedy, that states politicians prepare, think about next election, while statesmen think about next programs. That's policies. Think about the next policies. So most of our needs.
So guys, we are going to be ending this stream for now, but let me quickly take you to Twitter and let's just take a look at some of the headlines, because a whole lot is happening in this country, you know. Wike and the rest of them, they've traveled to the UK. They've traveled to the UK to go and plan for Tinubu's 2 years anniversary. It sounds funny, you know. Nigerians have been reacting because it really sounds funny. It really sounds funny that these people, despite what Nigeria is going through now, they chose to go to the UK to go and discuss Tinubu's. You know, when people have failed, when they know they have failed, can you imagine? They cannot stay in Nigeria to plan Tinubu's what Tinubu has achieved. Instead, they are going to the UK to go and do it. Anyway, this headline is saying JAM registrar in tears as he apologizes to candidates and their parents for disappointments. Well, this man deserves some level of award. Honestly, I used to love this JAM man, you know, until this issue started coming up. But I love the fact that he is owning up that the system disappointed Nigerians. And that is why I see Nigerians are very smart people. People who knew they were supposed to get more scores came out and spoke up. You know, people who knew what they wrote came out and say, no, what JAMB is giving us is wrong. And now today they've been vindicated. JAMB is now owning up and saying the system failed. That's why the scores were messed up. Now you must have heard that Jonathan's wife is preaching her support for Tinubu's second time. And this headline says, your tenure ridiculed First Lady. Nigeria will decide 2027, Patient Jonathan told. Anyway, I don't understand what this headline is actually saying, but the headline that have been trending is that she is pitching her tent for Tinubu come 2027. One is still wondering what Tinubu has achieved, if not the hunger they've plunged Nigerians into. Now, this person is saying progressive gain. Drop your handle and follow every progressive that likes and follow your handle. Do well to follow back. So you find out that the APC has gone to buy people to come and start, behaving like obedience. They want to use social media to promote Tinubu upon failure. They shouldn't worry. Obedience. We don't make all this noise. When time for the reality comes, you know, obedience will show what they know how to do best. We like to prove with facts, not coming to make noise. You know, we like to prove with facts. So this is actually the video where the JAM registrar was really apologizing in tears begging parents to please bear with them that the system failed. And I must say very big kudos to this man. So the court session today was really somehow because the witness came, he didn't prepare. The federal government is bringing all kinds of people to come and testify against Nnamdi Kanu. So what this man came to bear witness to is a case that the court has already struck out, and he didn't even know that the court has struck it out. I'm just wondering, the lawyers together with the witness and all of them working against Nnamdi Kanu, in short, they have exposed themselves. So you can see this one says, why is it that DSS witness in the case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu testifying if he claims to be unaware of anything from 2015 to the present? Can you imagine? What is he testifying about? He should be jailed by the court for seemingly speaking on matters he does not know anything about. Honestly, this is true. This guy came to testify and he was just testifying out of point. And when he was asked, he said he didn't know anything that have happened all this while. So the case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is just a tribal issue, you know, hatred for the Igbos. And now we had Buhari who hates Igbos with all his blood. We now have Tinubu, who you can also say is not really going well with the Igbos, because we've seen his wife on videos saying that, oh, Igbos. Hatred for the Igbos is something else. These are the people, Igbos are the ones, you know, keeping Lagos alive, keeping Abuja alive. I'm telling you, because of many of them are into businesses and real good businesses, call it in the real estate world or any of those, you know, just anything business you look for, that is where the Igbos are. Now, the federal government brought a witness that does not even know that the case he came to defend in court has been, you know, struck out by the courts. Can you imagine that? It is only in Nigeria such things happen. A case that has been struck out, that's what you came to defend. And when you were asked, you say you can't remember anything again since 2015 till now. You don't know anything, and you came to defend something you don't know anything about. Oh my God. This is really sad. So in case you don't know, Amechi made a statement, you know, how they gathered together to work against Jonathan. And that has been trending, you know. This person said, Lamido and I would have confronted Tinubu's government if we were still governors. So he was saying that if it was during their time, all what you are seeing today will not be happening because they are going to confront the government of the day. So guys, a whole lot is happening in this country. And in case you don't know, Omai them and Wike them, they've traveled to the UK to go and prepare for Tinubu's second anniversary. Can you imagine? They want to go and assemble all the achievements Tinubu has made in London when Nigerians are hungry. These leaders, they lack conscience, you know, they lack conscience. Now, the Minister of Power came out to say he needs like 10 billion every year, $10 billion to be given to him every year if Nigerians want to have constant electricity. So you have to give the power minister $10 billion. Let me look for that headline. $10 billion to the Minister of Power if Nigerians want to enjoy light. And you just be giving it for every year for like 20 years before he will be sure that Nigeria is going to have steady electricity. That means that electricity is not going to come anytime soon because Nigeria does not even have that 10 billion to give. So guys, a whole lot is happening in this country. We don't have pathetic leaders. We don't have leaders that care. I was thinking I have that headline here. I wanted you to see it for yourself, but I don't think I do. You can Google it for yourself to see what the Minister of Power has got to say, that Nigeria needs to give him $10 billion every year if they want to, you know, have constant electricity. So we have leaders who do not even care about what is happening in the country. They don't care because they are the ones enjoying the people's money, you know, and whatever is happening to the people does not even concern them. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this stream at this point. Thank you for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you and bye.